Welcome to Uncommon Sense. This is Jay Howard along with Michael B. Wright, Senior, Big Brother Mo Better. How you doing, Big Brother Mo Better?
Fine, Big Brother Rock, voice crack-a-lackin'.
I see you just walking into the scene, man. Is that your new intro now? You can just walk on in?
That's how you do it, boy. Start a new style, boy.
That's the new style.
New style, boy.
Well, excuse me, sir. Excuse me with the new style.
Yeah, walk in on the theme music, you know what I'm saying?
On the theme music, where this is unfiltered, unapologetic, uncommon sense, my brother.
Yep.
Right here on thetruevision.net and senseux.com.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir, brother. We had to do a special edition today.
We did, man.
This world is gone crazy.
Gone, done went.
Done went. Went crazy, doc.
It done went, player. I don't know what to tell you, man.
Woo, where we gonna start at tonight? Where we gonna start tonight?
Well, just start at the bottom, work our way up.
Okay. All right.
Start at the bottom and we'll work our way up. You know what I'm saying?
Well, let's start here.
Go Lord.
National Baptist Convention. USA sells out Black America to Target. Roland Martin says.
Yeah.
You know, right? This is my thing about this. Okay.
Yeah.
First of all,
Yes,
get
sir.
all the particulars first before you start saying somebody sold out first. You know.
Well, you need clickbait, man. You need clickbait.
Yeah, but come on, man. That's the wrong clickbait. Now, we gonna call each other out and with sellouts and really when we don't know the details of it.
That part. And again, man, it's divide and conquer. You know, the sad thing about it, at the end of the day, man, you know, we supposed to be doing this boycott. So, well, I don't know if they're still doing it because it ain't worth nothing no way. But if they're trying to do something, you know, in symphony, if you will, it stands to reason, man, that you would try to get folks to the table. You know, whoever's at the table, I don't care.
Right.
But you know, Roland and your boy
Jamal.
JB.
Yeah. Come on, man.
You know, they want the cameras, man. That's what that is, man. They want them cameras, man. Just gonna get them cameras over there.
Well, first of all, let me lay this out. Okay. Now it said that Target gave them a donation of $31,000. That was a donation. Okay. Now it says that they're working on a 3-year agreement to better the community, to better the elders and whatever. They're working on it. And they have the leadership of Target listening to them. And they said that, hey, if they didn't feel like this was going anywhere, they'll be the first ones to say, okay, let's continue to picket Target. Okay. But nobody went to them to ask them, okay, what are the details of this agreement? You would think Roland and Jamal would do this, but we just gonna go ahead and say you sold out.
Too much like right. Well, again, man, you got now the National Baptist Convention USA.
Yes, sir.
Very familiar with that because Reverend Shepherd used to be very involved with the National Baptist Convention. And I say that to say this. If you think about how long the Baptist Convention has been around, that's number one.
Yeah.
Two, if you think about how many churches they say are part of their fellowship, which is over 31,000.
31,000. Yes, sir.
That part. And if you look at how many quote unquote members they got, whatever 7 million or something, 1 point some million people.
7.5 million.
That part.
That part.
So if just 7.5 million people gave $1, just $1, you would have $7.5 million in your coffers. So the question is, why is Target even significant at this point? If you look at the capacity that you got, and you look at what you could do, what you could do in house,
right?
You know, anything that Target does is just gravy on top of the other potatoes.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
But but my question will become again now, as far as National Baptist Convention is, how are you building capacity? Like I said, in house,
Right.
without even having to pull a Target in.
Right.
So the dynamics of all this stuff, man, it's really a quandary because again, not only are you dealing with Roland and Jamal trying to pick you apart,
Right.
you're also dealing with a corporation that's dealing out pennies to you, and they know they are.
Right.
They know what they're doing, so they ain't no
Yeah.
any
Yeah.
pressure. But then again, like I said, it's a quandary because you got the National Baptist Convention that could do more in house than it could do with Target even being at the table.
Exactly.
So
Exactly.
what are we fussing about? So
Yeah.
the issue that I have with all this is again that it's like you said, instead of Jamal and Roland, going to the Baptist convention and saying, "Look here, what's going on? Let's get this.
Right.
Let's see what the deal is, and how
Right.
we can help you negotiate something a little bit better."
Exactly.
You know,
Can
because
we come to the table with you to see how we can really leverage this?
that part.
Mm-hmm.
But you want to pick
Yeah.
somebody, apart, and at the end of the day, it's Target's money, so they
Right.
can pull it if they want to.
Right.
you
Exactly.
know and you can't tell them folks what they are and what they are not going to give as far as that, that ain't your call to
They
make,
have a
player.
responsibility to Black America. Whoa, wait a minute. Hold up.
Everybody got a responsibility to Black America, but that ain't changed nothing
That
yet.
ain't changed nothing yet, brother.
So it don't make sense, man. But I mean,
Yeah.
they're gonna do what they're gonna do. Like I say,
Yeah.
it's
Yeah.
clickbait, and
Yeah.
somebody needs something to keep themselves in the news. But again, if Roland and Jamal,
Right.
again, the thing about, again, you're picking a target. So now all you're doing is funneling folks who were, if they stop going,
Mm-hmm.
if they stop going to Target, now you're funneling to Walmart, you're funneling to Amazon. The money is still not coming back into the Black community.
Right. Right.
So I mean, that's just a given. So at the end of the day, I don't see how this quote unquote boycotting Target is making any kind of ingrounds for Black American in the first place, because again, that money is still not being circulated back into the Black community. It's still going out somewhere
Right.
to benefit those who always benefited from the Black dollar. So
Exactly.
what you talking about?
Yeah.
That's what I'm saying as far as Target is concerned, and Jamal Bryant, it makes no sense what you're doing
Right.
at
It
the end of
doesn't.
the day. But
No.
you need something to keep you in the news, have at it, I guess. I don't
Yeah,
know.
better then. All right.
Do it till you're satisfied.
Ain't no shame in your game.
I think a wise woman said that, man.
A wise woman did
Wise
say
woman,
that, my
she
brother. A
said it, man.
wise woman said that. Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Do it
Name
till you're
Queen Esther.
satisfied.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
So
Yes.
I don't know, bro. I mean, they do what they do.
Wow. Now, brother, we go to this next headline.
Mm-mm, mm-mm, mm-mm.
FAMU funding plan
Okay.
for Marva Jack Johnson's contract on hold while DeSantis reviews budget. Now, you got to understand this rabbit hole right here, right?
Yeah, lay it on me.
You know,
Mm-hmm.
they had a young lady by the name of, let me see, her name is Rebecca Brown.
That
She
boy.
was wearing two hats.
Hmm.
She was the CFO,
Mm-hmm.
and then she was the senior vice president of finance. Hi, whoa, whoa, you wearing both of the hats?
Do what now? Where you trying to go with this?
Okay. Now, all of a sudden, of course,
Mm-hmm.
Marva is accepted by the board of governors, as we already said on this show. We said she was going to be approved.
Yep.
All right. Now, there's a shortfall somewhere in paying her salary.
You think?
Now, the state of Florida says, okay, we'll cover $200,000 of her salary. Her salary happens to be $650,000. Okay. But then, fam, you only approved $388,562.
So
And my wife been helping me with this, with my math lately.
Oh, Lord.
And so if my math is correct,
Mm-hmm.
there's a $61,438 shortfall somewhere.
That sound about right. That sound about
And
right.
now DeSantis has to come in. He could even veto the budget, or he can pull in state funds to help with the shortfall. So it's up to him
Okay.
what he wants to do. Or he can make FAMU cut some programs out to pay for her salary. The rest of that $61,000. And it has to be
Okay.
done by the 31st of June, I
Okay.
believe. Okay. So this is where we are in that.
And does any of this surprise you? Okay.
No, it
All
doesn't.
right.
It doesn't. It doesn't. It doesn't. Because
No.
now the board just approved before they approved her
Mhm.
a $2.97 billion operating budget.
Good God.
Are they
Okay.
United States government or something? Wait a minute. 2 point
Mm, mm, mm.
2.9 billion
Okay.
operating budget?
Okay.
Okay.
Bam.
Fam.
Well,
Okay. You see where we going with this, right?
oh, we don't went there. Um. Well, okay. Again, we know Johnson is a plant. We already know that.
Right.
That's a given.
Right.
The second thing is, how can this woman who has no advanced degree, as far as a doctorate degree, command that kind of dollar as far as coming in first time being a college president? Again, I'm just saying, make it make sense.
Mm-hmm.
So not only that, but now you're also putting Florida on the hook for 200,000. Again, like you said, that's if DeSantis approved the situation. But still, you're putting FAMU's putting itself in a situation where it can't afford this.
Right.
Especially with someone who doesn't have a track record that says, okay, you're worth $600,000, $650,000. Your track record doesn't show that you can call it in, Sister Kate. So
Mm-mm.
again, this is a hard sell. Now, I don't know
Mm-hmm.
this lady from Allen's House Cat. I only know what we can find online and what she has put out there herself. So based on what I have seen in black and white, FAMU is setting itself up for some serious hurt because it
Serious.
ain't because it ain't that.
No, it ain't, bro. It
It ain't
ain't
that.
not
And
at
you
all.
and your pharmacy school lost $16 million in funding,
Mm-hmm.
so how you gonna make up that deficit?
Right.
So again, you're running in the red, man. That's the whole point, man. You're running in the red no matter what you do.
Who
And to
is
bring
doing
on
the math here? Who is doing it? Okay.
probably one of the entry college student that just came in goes, this ain't making no sense.
No, this
Because
ain't math.
anybody can see player.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
How you going to approve first of all, how you going to approve a salary that in house you ain't got?
Right.
That board. So I mean, why we even having this conversation if in house the college doesn't have that kind of funding? First of all, and so now if you can say this now, we'll give you this much, and based on what you quote unquote said you can bring into the school as far as raising, we can give you percentage of that right there. You make it compensatory as far as what you're bringing in. Da 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 da. Okay. But just off the rip, give her $600,000 and you already running red and you already ain't got that in house. See,
But now,
tell
right,
you, man,
the
you're
first
gonna be
price
good
was
for somebody.
$750,000.
I don't see how she even got to the table with that amount,
Yeah.
demanding that at front. They should let that baby at the door.
Exactly.
But
I'll give you
somebody
40.
that we don't know yet. And
Mm-hmm. Wow. Wow.
well, baby, they're gonna call KBC in down there with the 61
I mean, you
as a
say what
donation.
now? Say what now? Say what now? Mm-mm. Mm-mm.
KBC ain't go down there with a donation, man. Go ahead and make up that deficit, player.
No, player, we ain't going out like that. Mm-mm. You ain't worth.
Hey, man.
You ain't worth that. And you okay? No, sir.
I'm just trying to say,
No,
I
right.
just want to know what the sister gonna do.
I don't know. but she gonna do something. Now, this next story, right, is your story right here, brother.
Oh,
This your
Lord.
story. The controversy surrounding Pam Bundy, the current U.S. Attorney General,
Yeah, but follow the money.
involves multiple potential conflicts of interest stemming from her past. So, as you always do, and as we always do, I do have a beautiful beam footage for you right here on Uncommon Sense.
Isn't anybody talking about this Pam Bondi scandal? And I'm not talking about the fact that she just declared it's A-OK for Donald Trump to take a $400 million bribe, I mean gift from Qatar after she previously worked for Qatar at the rate of $115,000 per month. And I'm not talking about the fact that the private prison company who locks up immigrants and was also her client was recently awarded, get this, a $1 billion contract. Or that her brother, a lawyer, has represented Elon Musk and Tesla in disputes with the SEC, and he's advising groups trying to acquire TikTok, a deal which is under U.S. government scrutiny. I'm talking about her estimated ownership of between 2.8 million to 14.5 million in Trump Media or Truth Social stock based on her own disclosures. And she was given $3 million in shares and warrants after Trump was elected and pledged to divest of her interest in Trump's company by May 5th. But there's no evidence that she's done so. It doesn't take a law degree to know that her financial entanglements with Trump ain't kosher. Do you agree?
Well, they say if Trump have touched you, you're gonna get rich with him.
But can I ask a question?
Go ahead.
$115,000 a month from Qatar.
From Qatar.
Now that you carry 1 divided by 2, you add 6. I still don't come nowhere close to what that sister just made in 1 month. But look at man. If you
she could cover the 61,000,
she can cover everybody 61.
exactly.
But again, man, like I said, bro, you find that money trail if you can follow it.
Right.
You know, if they ain't stopped it off somewhere, if you can find that money trail, man, you can see exactly what's going on. This sister here, man, and to be entangled like this, you got shares in Truth Social. Again, you making 150,000 from Qatar, which now here comes coming from Qatar. Really, this how we gonna do it? So again, there's no honor in thieves from what I know, and it's very disturbing at this point, man.
Right.
That this individual again is the top lawyer in these United States of America. But at the end of the day, man, what can we do? Because the commander in chief is doing even worse than what the woman is doing. But it's showing you that again, man, that there is not going to be any kind of way, quote unquote, justice can come out of this when, like I said, the head honcho is doing what she's doing, and again, getting away with it. And ain't no telling what else she got behind closed doors that we can't find out.
This is how you steal money legally.
And she's doing a beautiful job.
A beautiful job. Beautiful. Wow.
Doing a beautiful job.
Then, of course, you're talking about
that's but again, man, this is the real deal, bro.
Now going here to the Secretary of Defense, here we go. Has he overstepped his bounds with military action in the U.S. protests?
Why
of course. Of course. But then this sister here, bro, She is the one. She went to him. She stepped to him. She was like, look, just answer the question. Do you have enough balls to answer these questions? And I was like, oh, okay. We might have something here now. Anyway, here's the beautiful being
no.
Given the order. That's all I want to know. It's not theoretical. For the U.S. military, not law enforcement. They can arrest all day long. That's their job. Do they have the ability, the uniformed military, to arrest and detain protesters currently today? It's a yes or no thing. Authority.
It's sort of amusing the extent to which the speculation is out there. These troops are given very clear orders.
Then what is the order? Then list it out for us. Be a man, list it out. Did you authorize them to detain or arrest? That is a fundamental issue of democracy. I'm not trying to be a snot here. I'm just trying to get the actual, did you authorize them to do that?
All of these orders and what they're sent there to do are public. They are
okay,
there
so say it. So say it. Yes or no?
I'd like to.
Please, yes or no?
As I've said time and time again through interruption, they're there to protect law enforcement.
Do they have
ICE
the ability to arrest?
Who are trying to do their job, deporting illegals who were allowed in by the previous administration.
So they cannot arrest and detain citizens of the United States, the uniformed military.
As we've stated, if necessary, in their own self-defense, they could temporarily detain and hand over to ICE. But there's no arresting going on. And you know this better than you're trying to play political games. There's no arresting of U.S. personnel.
Of the U.S. military against members of the protest. Have you authorized U.S. military cyber tools to investigate people participating in these protests? Yes or no?
Certainly in no way that I'd be aware of.
Okay, that's good. I love that answer. That's great. Have you given the order to be able to shoot at unarmed protesters in any way? I'm just asking the question. Don't laugh. Like the whole country. And by the way, my colleagues across the aisle.
What is that based on? What evidence would you have that an order like that has ever been given?
Giving that order to your predecessor, to a Republican Secretary of Defense, who I give a lot of credit to because he didn't accept the order. He had more guts and balls than you because he said, I'm not going to send in the uniformed military to do something that I know in my gut isn't right. He was asked to shoot at their legs. He wrote that in his book. That's not hearsay. So your poo-pooing of this, it just shows you don't understand who we are as a country, who we are. And all of my colleagues across the aisle, especially the ones that served, should want an apolitical military and not want citizens to be scared of their own military. I love the military. I served alongside my whole life, so I'm worried about you tainting it. Have you given the order? Have you given the order that they can use lethal force against honor? I want the answer to be no. Please tell me it's no. Have you given the order?
Senator, I'd be careful what you read in books and believing it, except for the Bible.
Oh, my God.
How you going to bring the Bible in? Hold up, bro. Hold up, partner.
That's a oh my. She said, oh, my God.
Oh, my God. Here we go. All I want is a simple yes or no.
That's all the baby
Alex.
That's all the baby won't. But he said, so that means we should believe it was in his book.
Exactly.
You are snared by the words of your own mouth.
Boy, they ought to have us on the hill, boy. Question these jokes.
Boy, it'd be a beautiful thing, boy. It'd
Beautiful,
be so
beautiful.
Man, but again, Doc, you got military because again, it was published that 2 Marines again detained a black veteran. So again, military is not supposed to have any kind of law enforcement activities on U.S. soil. That's in the Constitution of these United States of America. But again, you're saying that hex out. That's why your boy Trump never got rid of him, even though the thing came out with single and other stuff. He didn't get rid of the boy because he knows he just a handkerchief. He just there, exactly. You know, and he'll do whatever Trump tell him to do, and that's why he stays there. So don't look for much.
No,
what we already got.
Yeah.
You know, but it's man, we are again, like I said, they wanted that conflict in California. Because on page 500 is martial law, dealing with these situations. So as far as Project 2025,
right? So
at the end of the day, man, like this was planned. This is exactly what they're looking for,
right?
And if you look at it, again, as they were saying, hostility did not start until them boys hit the ground. Because
That's
again,
right.
man, they was pushing. They want confrontation, man.
That's what
you really be asking is, who are these mass people, quote unquote, in ICE that has no, markings as far as who they are, whatnot, but
right.
they coming in there and snatching folks up. See, that right there get folks shot.
Oh yeah.
Who you?
Yeah.
No identification, no nothing, and you are just coming in and saying you're part of ICE. How I'm supposed to know that?
Don't come in the hood. Don't come in the neighborhood. Don't come in the
they can't do it in the hood.
No. We shoot
be
birds.
It'd be a bloodbath. I don't know who you are.
I don't know who you are, homie.
Better bag up.
Bag up.
Identify yourself. But like I said, man, this is what they thrive on. This is the only way Trump can be in office. It's got to be chaotic. Right. So that the ones behind the scene really pulling the strings can do what they can do. Like your boy Elon. This man goes in there and dismantles stuff, pulls out things, inserts himself, and then leaves. Like, really?
I'm gone.
This is what we doing. This is what we're doing.
What we doing.
And there's been no report on what this man has done.
Of course not.
Okay. So this right here is gonna be real funny.
And then we had a fake fight.
You know what?
Come on now.
It had to happen.
Yeah, it had to.
It had to happen.
It had to happen.
I ain't heard none of this more from it.
Nothing else, brother. Nothing else.
So again, I'm telling you, man, Musk has inserted himself in the federal government, and he has positioned himself, man, with the FAA, again with NASA,
the
EPA, you name it, man. He's in there. He has inserted himself in there, man. Other thing about how can you put a Starlink satellite again without getting clearance through Department of Defense, all that good stuff. You bring in your stuff and put that mess in the White House. Tell me how you do this.
Donald Trump.
And as far as we know, it's still there. And again,
it's still there, bro.
No CIA, no Secret Service, no Department of Defense.
No.
Just come in and do yada yada.
Do what you want to do and leave out. And then he even told him, y'all better not touch him. Y'all better not mess with him. Okay. Now, this was interesting you sent to me.
Oh, that's a heartbreaker right there, man.
Why are 4 tech executives being sworn in as Army lieutenant colonels for data and surveillance?
That's a heartbreaker right there, man.
Stolen Valor?
Well, this definitely stolen.
How you gonna bring somebody off the street? They didn't went through basic training or nothing like that.
They passed military age anyway.
Right.
That part.
And you gonna make them lieutenant colonels.
Lieutenant colonels, man.
They like what, 2 steps away from being a general.
So now they are getting the benefits from being lieutenant colonels in the Army. So they're getting benefits, they're getting a salary, all that good stuff
all that stuff on our dime.
That, like I said, man, that one right there, that's a heartbreaker.
That is a heartbreak. It is a heartbreak.
Knowing, my dad served, my son served.
And my dad served.
See that? That's a heartbreaker right there, man.
Yeah. Yeah. Now here's the beautiful beam footage to that.
I genuinely cannot believe I'm saying this and that it is not a top of the page headline story across the country, but the U.S. Army just swore in 4 tech executives as lieutenant colonels. The CTO of Palantir, Peter Thiel's company, the CTO of Meta, Mark Zuckerberg's company, and OpenAI's chief product officer and former chief research officer, the company belonging to Sam Altman. These 4 men are all now 1 rank away from a general, second in command for field grade officers. There are 16 ranks lower than a lieutenant colonel, and these 4 untrained civilians just leapfrogged over soldiers who have dedicated their entire career and lives to the U.S. military. Apparently, these men are going to work on targeted projects to help guide rapid and scalable tech solutions to complex problems. A sentence that means absolutely nothing, because clearly this is just a way of giving these companies access to top secret information without them having to go through any pesky background checks. And if that doesn't scare you, it really should. Because we already know that Palantir is building a massive centralized database, using much of the information they acquired from Doge, Elon Musk's foray into the American government. These billionaire tech bros are compiling lists of our most sensitive information, our tax records, medical data, bank accounts, social security information, immigration status. This administration is allowing them to build the infrastructure for techno-feudalism, authoritarianism in the form of data and surveillance. It is a horrifying and blatant conflict of interest that harms the safety and security of all Americans. There should not be this much overlap between private tech and the U.S. government, certainly not between private tech and the U.S. military. I do not know how asleep at the wheel Congress can possibly be, but they should be shutting this down immediately, and every single one of us should be demanding that they do it. The people who are using the government against you are now taking over military authority. The corruption is calculated and staggering, and I can only hope our veterans and active duty military are paying incredibly close attention. And now that you know, you should be talking about it.
Now, man.
Now that right there is scary, bro.
It's scary, Doc. How could you be a part of the military and just sit there and just watch it happen?
Well, again, see, the thing about military, man, it's a code of honor. So just by sheer ranking, so again, it's by sheer default. So that's that. And be it as it may, if someone's a lieutenant colonel and you're a private,
right?
Don't care how long it took you to get there, but you got the ranking, so I got to respect you. Exactly. Just like Hexel, never served in the military. National Guard, never served in the military. But here, this guy is a main cat on the scene. I can just imagine how the 4-star general feels. Right. I've been here for probably 40, 50 years. I've been in this thing, and here comes Johnny come lately from Fox.
From the TV.
Yeah, and now he's my boss just because he ranks. So that's part there. But again, to give these guys, again, Lieutenant Colonel, one step down from becoming a general, man, that there's a slap in the face, bro.
A slap in the face, Doc.
And again, now those cats got top clearance, which is absolutely scary, man, because again, you don't know what these folks are going after, and you don't know again how deep this thing is going down as far as the deep state. Because at the end of the day, man, this is what's planned, bro. You can't make this stuff up. Right. And for this not to be publicized, for this not again to be in main, this is what your boy Roland Martin to be coming after. You half-cock boy. But anyway, shut up and get a real story, boy.
That's get a real story. Come on, get a real story, bro.
Get a real story, man. Leave Target alone.
Come on, man. Leave Dollar General alone.
But see, man, now, Jay, it goes back to that quote-unquote big, beautiful bill. In that clause, if they pass it, it says that no state can pass any laws that regulate AI for 10 years.
For 10 years.
And then tell me something about that.
Oh, yeah, bro.
So that's why this man wants this bill to pass, because again, now it's saying that the state, the regular states cannot pass any laws that can regulate AI for 10 years.
That's big brother right there, Doc. That's big
all
brother.
Day long. And then you see the techno-techs up now, Lieutenant Colonel's form. Peter T. Boy, that boy made JD Vance.
Yes. Made JD Vance.
Made JD Vance, man.
Yes, sir. Made it.
So you know that's a Vance move. You know that's a payback.
Yes.
You know that's a payback.
Yes.
So when you're looking at it again, and
matter of fact, right? We got to go through that. I thought I could hold this back.
Oh, don't hold it back. It's a special edition.
It's a special edition tonight.
It's a special edition.
Now, this is how the breakdown goes. Here's how the whole the background or the foundation of this whole thing goes. So pay close attention to how it goes, and pay close attention to the names that are being said and the people who are being shown in this video. I'm telling you.
Hard not to notice that a new breed of supervillains are attempting to take over the Pride Lands. And yeah, everyone knows about Scar, but we need to talk about the hyenas. First up is Shenzi, the most intelligent of the three. This here is our Shenzi, Curtis Yarvin. And if you don't know his name, that's by design. He's sort of the mastermind behind a lot of the pseudo-intellectual philosophies of the far right. He's a blogger and a software developer who's known for leading a right-wing thought movement called Dark Enlightenment. He's basically challenging the whole idea that democracy is the best way to govern. He feels that the US would best be run by a group of super wealthy dictator types. He believes that liberal philosophies coming from academia and the media need to be stamped out post-haste. Curtis Yarvin's philosophies have become popular with a lot of the super wealthy tech bro types and some leading political figures in the last 10 to 15 years. Oh, and as a fun little bonus, he's kind of a eugenicist who believes that there are intellectual differences between the races. He's a gem. Next up is Banzai. Not quite the intellectual that Shenzi is, but he makes up for it with shrewdness, almost to the point of being downright vicious. This is Peter Thiel. He's taken a lot of Curtis Yarvin's philosophies and put them into practice. Peter Thiel was a buddy of Elon Musk's. They were both involved in founding PayPal back in the day. Peter Thiel is now the head of a data analytics company called Palantir that you're going to start hearing more and more about. Let's just say that there's probably nothing that Palantir doesn't know about you at this point. Palantir has deep ties to national security and law enforcement, and they're getting more and more involved in policing, surveillance, and immigration enforcement. And no one really keeps a check on how they do their work or what they're going to do with the info that they collect. It's basically a two-headed monster of tech and state power. Peter Thiel is a tech billionaire who put millions of dollars behind J.D. Vance's Senate campaign when the guy was about to become a footnote in history. J.D. Vance won his Senate seat in Ohio because of Peter Thiel, and J.D. Vance became the vice presidential nominee because of Peter Thiel's influence. And this is before he'd even served 2 years in the Senate. That is the Curtis Yarvin Dark Enlightenment philosophy at work. Use your wealth to basically bypass the whole democratic process and install the leaders that you think will carry out your capitalist designs. Who needs a middleman? And finally, we have Ed, the puppet, the stooge, bought and paid for. Not really capable of producing much independent thought, but doing his best to carry out the wishes of his smarter and wealthier overseers. This is the guy, in my estimation, that they are pinning their hopes on. J.D. Vance. He's moldable because he was plucked from obscurity and basically given a crown and scepter by these guys. And he's more likely to play the obedient stooge because both his way of thinking and his ability to build wealth both came courtesy of one man. Now, trust me, the web is far wider than this. I'm just giving you a little glimpse into where this is all going if the lost boys have their way. If we continue to fall asleep at the wheel, they will get their way. We assume that the system of government that we have here in the U.S. is unshakable, and that is just not the case. Right now, there is a vast conglomerate of very powerful, very shrewd people who think that they know better than you, that are plotting a very targeted, deliberate takeover of our system of governance in the United States. Don't let them do this. Educate yourself, understand their tactics, and let's use every tool at our disposal to drive these hyenas from the Pride Lands for good.
That's the hyenas.
Let's put it down there, boy.
Yes, sir. She put it down, didn't she, brother?
Tell you, man, that thing need to go viral like tonight.
Tonight, bro. Tonight.
It needs to go viral tonight. This is where we are, bro. And again, those are the individuals, man, that, like you said, you don't know them. They are obscured from the cameras.
Of course.
Those are the ones that's pushing the buttons and sliding this and pushing and pulling that and making things happen. Because again, Peter Thiel, I mean, if you knew anything about your girl Chandra and the TV the miniseries Scandal, that sister put all that right there. That whole miniseries ain't nothing but this right here.
That's it right there. That's it, bro.
But when you talking about a deep state, man, again, this is what it is. These guys, if you look at what's happened in the last 6 months,
right? These
cats have definitely inserted themselves inside the mainstream, quote unquote, America, and nobody's saying anything.
Nobody.
And again, at the end of the day, if you take this stuff public, you know, and really start putting some teeth behind this, you're gonna take the backlash of those who are again the ones who pull the strings.
Right.
So it's a wild place you're living in. But at the end of the day, if someone, I say someone like us, and those like the sister there, and again, making these shortcuts, short videos, and showing people what the real deal is, but they got to get main drag, man. They really got to get some pull behind it, because again, they publicizing again Target. I can say that enough. You publicizing Target and the National Baptist Convention when you have 4 tech boys who become lieutenant colonels overnight,
and got all about information.
All of it, man.
All of it.
So
that's great.
Yeah, and again, when asked the question, why did Elon Musk and quote unquote Doge needed access to the Treasury information? What was that for? What did they need access to IRS?
Right. What did they need that information for?
Yeah, because again, at the end of the day, man, illegal immigrants are not filing taxes.
No.
Come on now.
Come on now.
This is too easy. So at the end of the day, if I'm here illegally, I'm not gonna file taxes.
Right.
I'm not gonna be out there looking for to publicly display myself for anybody to find out where I is. You know, so at the end of the day, man, we know this stuff is all about, again, pinning things and finding things about those who are citizens of the country.
And if you really want to cut out waste, stop your president from playing golf all the time. How about that?
And man, already spent with $4 million already.
Exactly.
Son of a, you know. But you know, this the world we live in. And but yeah, I mean, when you look at what's really laying down, bro.
Yeah.
Again, from Musk, again from Peter Thiel, when you really see what's going down behind the scenes, honestly, it should be bringing some kind of alarm bells somewhere.
Yeah.
And for Congress, and this is why I don't understand Democrats, to see this going on and to know this is going on, yet you are silent on this stuff. You're not blaring at every single corner you can get somebody listening to you.
Come on, you know why it's silence. You know why it's silence.
Yeah.
When you've been paid off, you be quiet. You don't say nothing. You don't say a word.
Yeah, I mean, come on now, Warnock. This right here is just is material that's on the table.
Well, Warnock wasn't put there to be there forever anyway, so
yeah.
Temporary. I mean, just like this, brother, just like this. Iran versus Israel. Now, Iran don't even have a nuclear weapon. They have no nukes.
No.
But Israel is the one that got all the nukes.
Between 45 to 700, they say.
So why is it that you gonna pick on Iran to fight with? Because they got the quote unquote possibility of building what powerful country doesn't?
Everybody got the possibility.
Everybody
got the possibility.
You don't go to Russia, pushing Russia and say, look, we're going to war with you.
Because they knew they pushed that button.
You don't go to China and say, we're going to war with you. You don't touch China.
They'll push the button.
Push the button.
But again, man, if for this, but see, this goes back to your boy Netanyahu, but then also goes back to your boy Bush.
Yeah.
You know, and Halliburton and Dick Cheney, all that good stuff, man, is out the playbook. You know, when you can attack Iran, and again, it was a non-provoked attack as far as from Israel. Right. If you see what Israel doing in the Gaza Strip as far as genocide, right there, that's scrap genocide for what Israel doing. You know, but your boy Jared, you know, he got his fingers in there because again, he wants to have that Gaza Strip.
Mm-hmm.
And that was from the previous administration, you know. But Jared Kushner, if you look at what that board had done, while he has self-enriched himself with contracts and you know, but Hunter Biden ain't got nothing on Jared Kushner.
No, nothing.
nothing on Jerry Christian. But you're not saying that because God's Jewish.
Right.
Okay. Let it be as it may.
Let it be. Yeah.
But at the bottom line, man, what Israel is doing, again, at the pocketbook of America.
Right.
Because you couldn't do this without America. You know.
Did you see old boy push Trump's button when he said, yes, I know America first, but what about American debt? And the thing about it, Trump went for the okie doke, as we would call it in the neighborhood, the okie doke.
He don't know other way to go.
No.
So I mean, again, bro, it's that's what I'm saying, man. And if you listen to the evangelicals and the Christians now, they're saying that this right here is pushing Jesus closer to us. Okay.
Man, didn't that man tell you? He told you straight up. There'll be wars and rumors of wars.
He also said, no man knows the day nor the hour. That's what the man said. So
that's what the man said. Now
you can't clock him. So
now,
I mean,
come on now, now,
bro.
You trying to clock? Come on now.
Yeah, but the hypocrisy of Israel, man, is something serious.
Yeah, Doc, it's something serious, man. It's something serious. So that's why you got to ask this question. You know, what was Trump really doing when he attacked Iran?
Doing that, y'all want?
Yeah, he's trying to make him happy.
That's all it is.
Man. Yeah. I mean, this dude been attacking Iran for over 30 years. This ain't nothing new.
Not for him.
No, not for him.
No.
Matter of fact, President Obama put in a peace treaty with Iran for 10 years.
Yeah.
10 years. It's supposed to be a peace treaty. Now here we go. With Agent Orange. He wants to start something.
That man said Agent Orange.
Agent Orange, man. And then it was a successful military. I mean, come on, man.
Yeah, I bet it was.
Come on, man. What?
Yeah.
And they said that it just set them back a couple of months. It didn't set them back for years.
If even that, because again, you don't know how. At the end of the day, man, those cat got that nuclear reactor, man, under a freaking mountain.
Boy, you better say that.
Under a freaking mountain.
And I mean, it's deep.
You know,
it's deep. It's deeper than what they think it is.
Of course, they ain't gonna tell you everything.
They ain't gonna tell you everything. They ain't gonna tell you where it's at.
Everything.
Come on,
you
man.
know, nobody gonna do that.
Come on.
So at the again, man, the oxymoron here, man, and the really travesty of the situation is whether it's Israel or America, they're doing this thing, quote unquote, in the name of national security. When the Palestinians and Iranians, these individuals who they are saying pose no threat to America as far as when you're talking about firepower, yada yada yada. Come on now. Yeah, you got sleeper cells, of course, but y'all trying to wake up now because you're doing stupid stuff. So if you got sleeper cells, of course you're gonna start something. But this is what they want. I mean, when you're talking about conflict, you're talking about again the military complex. You're making all these bombs for a reason, and at the end of the day, you got to have somewhere to drop them on.
Right.
And it's always going to be the ones that cannot literally fight back.
Right.
So no,
Iran. Yeah. Iran is not going to just come and fight America back. They come on, man. They know they can't do that. They know they can't win.
But no. So everybody knows again, this war right here is nothing but a war of words. But at the end of the day, man, you're still tearing apart Iran. You're still tearing apart the Gaza Strip.
Right.
You know, hell, Putin is still tearing apart Ukraine. So when you're looking at the dynamics, man, as far as death and destruction, this stuff has no rhyme, no reason, but it has real consequences. It has, lives that are being taken, children who are being traumatized by this stuff.
Yes.
So this is where the real thing comes down to it. As to how I don't see how any quote unquote Christian can put their name behind Israel at this point.
Right.
You can't justify that for me.
You can't justify that, man.
You can't justify it.
No.
But again, you want to tag God to this. You know, I don't. Some way I read, you know, blessed are the merciful, for they shall obtain mercy. That's somewhere in there.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Know, that's the first thing the man said with his inaugural message. You know, so blessed are the peacemakers, for they shall be the sons of God. There's somewhere in there.
Somewhere in there, Doc.
So I'm just saying, if you're talking about these things, yet you're doing the very opposite of what the man said, I don't see how you can justify this stuff in the name of God. Because if you pull him on the scene like your boy Hexef did, you know, don't believe nothing but the Bible, really.
Really?
Really?
Do you even know what's in the Bible, Ezek? No.
Says the one that done cheated on every wife he done had. Every wife he done had. And married the woman that he was cheating on his wife with. You know, like, come on, bro.
Man.
You can't make this up.
You can't make this up. Not even with like this one from Trump. You know, he gets mad at Israel and Iran, and then wants to say they don't know what they doing. Dude,
really?
Wait a minute. Hold up. This way
you gonna run it.
I'm gonna write it. I got to write it.
Yeah, I do. They violated it, but Israel violated it too. Israel, as soon as we made the deal, they came out and they dropped a load of bombs, the likes of which I'd never seen before. The biggest load that we've seen. I'm not happy with Israel. You know, when I say, okay, now you have 12 hours, you don't go out in the first hour and just drop everything you have on them. So I'm not happy with them. I'm not happy with Iran either. But I'm really unhappy if Israel's going out this morning because of one rocket that didn't land, that was shot, perhaps by mistake, that didn't land. I'm not happy about that. You know what? We basically have two countries that have been fighting so long and so hard that they don't know what the fuck they're doing. Do you understand that?
No, we got three countries. Three countries. Yeah. Three leaders.
You know, but he summed it up. I mean, he finally said something worth saying, but
he just didn't include himself.
That boy, like you said, three. Yeah, he would have said three. I said,
bro, really? You just mad because that outshined what you said you just did.
As far as that ceasefire.
Yeah, you said, look at me, I stopped the 12-day war. Oh, you did. Okay.
Yeah. Again, Netanyahu showed you, okay, because again, when Net came to the White House, and you got the little clip when your boy Trump pushed his seat up on Netanyahu. You know, that boy. The last time I checked, you only push a seat up under a woman. You don't push a seat up under a man. Okay.
Yeah.
But now everybody got up in arms with Obama when he bowed down to, you know, when he did a courtesy bow to the Japanese diplomats, and to America doesn't bow to nobody. Negro, that's culture. That's just showing respect.
Exactly.
You know, but you're gonna jump on Obama for that, but you're not gonna jump on your boy Trump for pushing the seat upon Netanyahu as if he is Netanyahu's
Watch it now. You about to go there?
I just said fill the blank, you know, just say whatever you want to fill it in with, you know. But we was on the street.
Oh, we was
on the street.
Yeah, something like a female dog or something.
Yeah, that part right there. It's a female dog. You know that?
Yeah, sir.
You don't push the seat up under no man. We don't do that. But that shows you right there, man. That shows you who was the real one in charge at that table.
Oh yeah.
That's what I'm saying, man.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Most definitely.
Symbolism is one of them.
They don't go mess with your boy at North Korea.
No.
And that boy got more nuclear weapons.
Because they know Kim Jong-un is crazy.
Mess with Kim like you doing with Iran. Mess with it.
Kim want to fight.
Yeah. He's like, come on.
He's trying to give you folks something to do. They want to go out and do something, but he won't let them outside to play. But yeah, stay inside. And so but that's what we are, man. I mean, honestly, it's a sad situation. I mean, you got to laugh to keep them crying.
Yeah.
But when you have someone like a Trump, that's just a figurehead, you can tell it.
Oh yeah,
you can tell he's a figurehead, because again, to bomb Iran for no rhyme or reason, and even to come back on a few days later and talk about that your intel was inconclusive. So then why did you bomb then? If your intel was inconclusive before you did any kind of bomb campaign, why did you go through with it? What was the point? You don't even know what the hell you hit. You just want to say you sent out the bombs.
We blew it up. We blew it all up.
Blew up what?
Blew up what?
What
did you blow up?
And your boy Hexel, he can't even add any meat to the matter because again, he don't know what they did.
Oh no, bro. He's Trump puppet.
No, that's what he is. He's Trump's.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. That's true. Yeah. He got 4 of them. I mean, he got about 3 or 4 of them right there. Because you got your boy JD.
That boy.
You got your other boy Rubio.
That boy. Did you see him? Did you see Rubio when he came out? Them 3.
I did.
Rubio was like, man, this. He looking like, man, we are really right.
What are we doing?
It was at that moment.
At that moment. That way he knew. He just.
You can look at his eyes, and that what it's saying. It was at that moment.
It was at that point where he knew. You all, if you look at YouTube, you know what we're talking about.
Boy, I tell you, boy, look at the eyes, boy. It tells you everything you need to know.
Everything.
It was at that moment that he knew. Boy, I tell you.
Ooh, uncommon sense, boy. I tell you.
Boy, I try to tell you, man. You can't make this stuff up, man. This stuff is real.
Make this stuff up.
This stuff is real, boy.
This is the real deal, Doc. As we say, the truth should not be sanitized. And
hallelujah.
We come on every Tuesday at 7:00 p.m. But we had to come on this Wednesday. We had to come on Wednesday, and I guess they say set the record straight.
My.
Until next Tuesday. Ooh, next Tuesday is what? July 1st.
July 1st, man. July's in here, by
July, the month of independence, as they say.
If God don't burn it up between now and then.
I know, right?
Well,
it's hot here in Atlanta, Doc.
Oh boy,
God Almighty,
man! I did Jesus in the heaven, but
anyway,
stay cool and stay hydrated. That's all I can tell you,
brother. Cool and stay hydrated, cause man, what is the weather? Is 92 right now at 8:00?
At 8:00 at night. Okay.
At night.
Let that tell you something.
Ooh, Uncommon sense. TheTrueVision.net and also SinceYouAsked.com. Until next week, talk to you later.
Yes, sir.